Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel Messages for April 28th through May 3rd, 2025. So, as we start, I'd just like to thank everyone who is returning to this weekly series and is always hanging in there with us. And I'd also like to welcome anyone who might be new to our Angelic Wisdom community for the very first time. Also, if you haven't done so, make sure that you have subscribed, select the all notification bell, like, and of course, leave your comments. If during the course of this video you feel compelled to have an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. Also, be aware that my availability for readings are on Saturdays after 2 p.m. So, and if there's any other availability during the week, I can let you know that when you sign up. If that is possible, it'll be most likely after 5 p.m. And one other thing as well, if you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you can go to my PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom LLC. You can find that description and the others that I've mentioned in the description area beneath this video. And I think at the time that this video will be posted, the monthly Ascension Angel messages for the month of May should be posted or will be posted within this time frame. So it will be the first link that you will see in the description area beneath this video. So make sure you check out the monthly angel reading for May. And if you haven't done so already, check out the monthly reading for April. It might be a good time to sort of reflect back on the month and see where things may have sort of, what might have possibly been the outcome for you. And it's a way to see if there is something that you need to do in order to move into the month of May. All right, so let's take a deep breath. But before we do that, the new tarot deck that you see, it's a little smaller, as you can see, than the regular side cards that we have. But all of her decks really are not, their shape is not typical card measurements for tarot. So this is called the Janasa Jaus, 5th edition of this same tarot. And this was also the same creator of the Nemeth tarot that we've been working with for the last few months. So now let's take a deep breath. And relax. And just center your mind in your heart space. Now it's interesting because for some reason they're showing me windows with curtains and blinds, and it's sort of like it's a wall in a room where there are 2 windows, and of course there's a space in between, and there seems to be some kind of painting, not a large one, but a medium-sized painting that has these. It's a modern art, and um, I would almost feel like the curtains are dark, they're long, and then um, maybe navy blue, and then the painting feels like it has a gold. Um, God, I can't think of the name of it. Border, and then these very um, it's I don't know how to say, but it's almost it might feel um, African in a way, but it's just I don't know how to describe it, but it's like these very rich jewel tone colors, green, um, red, you know, gold, purple, that kind of thing, and it's just shapes almost feels like a map. It feels very much like a map, but it's not. And then they're showing me the blinds sort of pulled down low, and as we were getting, as I was saying that take a deep breath, it just sort of felt like sometimes this might be a sacred space where um, or it might be used as a sacred space where you sometimes meditate and you just like to close the curtains and the blinds to just sort of have this to sort of block out the rest of the world. And whether this is literally somebody's home, and but I feel like it was very symbolic in the sense that we need to create a sacred space where we can kind of just shut out the rest of the world, where it can just be about your inner being and being very present with that. And in a space that doesn't have a lot of noise, meaning that it's very busy and a lot of things going on to distract you. And if you can create a space like this, even if you have something similar to it already, but maybe just removing some things so that you have that um, space where you don't have a lot of things to distract you, but you can really focus on whatever it is that you're um, doing whatever you're intending to do in that space, whether it's to meditate or to work or to be creative. It seems like you want to have what inspires you around you and what can be useful to you, but to really eliminate a lot of the other that it might look pretty, but it's just clutter for your mind. And the cards for this week were also laid down from right to left, so that we're really just needing to focus internally and really giving ourselves a real big break from media, um, from all the clamor and the noise that's constantly sort of you know imposing itself on us, right? um, Sometimes can be this can all seem very intrusive, and it doesn't allow enough for an awareness of love. And that's the word they're writing, love, right now. And we need more of an awareness of love and a space for that to be. Now, what they're showing me is, as they were saying that, they were showing me you know, um, a naked foot, and it was in nature, and it sort of turned into like um, similar to a tree, where the toes began to sort of take root into the earth. When I saw that, I thought of, we need a place to ground in love, right? We need a sacred space to really ground in love. And also, at the same time, as a great reminder of just how much nature is so deeply connected to that love. And it's a sacred space within itself for us to find that connection. And Lord Jesus is, I'm saying his name, so his presence is stepping forward to really help us to be open to the full powers of love that we possess. And he's writing right now that one of the most important things is that we need to release our fears. And we need to release the creation, the things that are creating those fears as much as possible. So instead of, right now in the world, you know, it's like we're soaking up all the fear that they want us to soak up. And what we really need to do is soak up all the love. It's within you, and it's within the things that you choose to do and the way that you choose to do them. So there are the things that you choose to do, and there are the ways that you choose to do them. And sometimes it might feel like the things that you have to do, which is not necessarily the same as choosing to do them, are not very connected in a way that seems to have a heart-based foundation. However, the way you choose to do them is always up to you, and the way that you do them can really bring it back into the fold of that connection of love. I don't know why I'm seeing the name Yvonne. I have an aunt with that name. However, this might be a message to you. And so just be aware of that if you're watching. And connect in with Lord Jesus and to God, whomever it is that, but to make this connection of asking for support in showing you the experience of love through whatever it is that you have to do, to show you that path, to show you how to embrace love even in the most difficult situations. And Jesus is so he's showing me the third eye, and he's writing his name over the third eye. So he's giving me a sense of that he's communicating with us through our intuition right now, very, very strongly. If we're open to that help and support of divine love. So just trust your intuition. First, open your heart. And when you open your heart, automatically asking for this kind of support and love, then Jesus can step through and empower you with the solutions and the answers that you're asking for through your intuition. So just pay attention to how your intuition is really being persistent or very strong, maybe more than what you are used to. And just know that that's a sign that the impact of your intuition, it feels like almost like it just grips you very strongly, and you just can't deny it. And this doesn't mean that it's like if somebody puts their hands on you and they grab you really tightly. This is something subtle, but you know it in the moment, that even if it's subtle, you know it's different, and you know it's important, or you know that you know, right? So just trust that. So, um, I don't know what this means, but I'm just sort of seeing a feminine figure standing underneath a tree. And the trunk of the tree is moderate in terms of its width. And the person is just in underwear. And it's funny because they went from a light shade to a dark shade. And the person's really leaning on the tree. It gives me a sense of some decision. And it feels like to you, and I don't know why I just saw the name Luke. I don't know if this is to someone who knows someone with the name Luke or something similar, or it's for Luke. However, it seems like it's a decision that you feel, um, it's like one path versus another, okay? And negative, positive. And it feels like you're trying to tap into your intuition for the correct understanding. The way the branches were overshadowing like an umbrella is always my symbol for protection. Um, and that your guidance is protecting you, and the choice that you make, it feels like when we try to make we're trying to choose between what we think is bad or good. And the choice is really about what you're ready for and what's right for you right now. And it's not right or wrong, it's just like, what are you ready for? And these are just really two different lessons. It's the best way to put it, because we have to stop, and they write the word judgment. We have to stop judging paths as right or wrong, bad or good, evil or good. This is about just two different lessons. And you will learn the lesson that you need to learn one way or the other. One will be a deeper lesson, and one will be a less challenging lesson. But it's what you need to go through. Otherwise, the choice would not be there for one or the other. So instead of trying to avoid the lesson, because when you stand at a crossroads, which means all of a sudden when you don't know what your heart is telling you, then it means that you're afraid of either choice. And I don't know why they wrote the word cruelty, but it's almost like you're looking at the universe or life. You're looking at this moment as a moment of cruelty, because technically you don't want either one. Because if you did, you would automatically already have taken the path. And so, and it could be as you perceive it, because it is your reality, it is your your journey, and you are creating your reality. One could be good and one could be bad, because that's what you are expecting. But you're not ready for the good in either this case, and you don't want the bad, and you're creating this idea that this is a bad path. In order, one has to be bad and one has to be good. But then if this is so in your head, then why do you need to struggle with the right or wrong choice, when then the way you've set it up, one is obviously the right path? And so this goes to show us that we are creating things as we go along, and our perceptions are based on our beliefs, and that this is a time for you to correct some beliefs that are creating distortion and fear in your journey, because that's the big role that you're playing in your life. You're creating unhappiness by inviting an understanding that something must be out there that wants to destroy you or disrupt your happiness, or to constantly cause you to um, never never really have happiness in your life. I think I was going to say that there's something that's causing you to sort of elude that. It just never can be for you. It's always there for others, but never you. And this is the distortion of love that the angels really wishes for us now to release that and trust that we're always, all of our life experiences are under the umbrella, the protection of love. So waste less energy trying to fight within yourself. And I don't know, they write the word guilty, and then they write the word purity. And do we hold purity up as this mirror that we need to feel guilty because we're never that purity? It's like we're judging ourselves by our imperfection based on a perfection that isn't your perfection, but it's something else, something created, some illusion that's sort of there to create that interruption or disruption within ourselves. You have to make sure that you are aligning yourself with what is truly yours and not another's, or something that has been a standard that has been put in front of you that has nothing to do with you still, and does not have anything to do with the integrity or alignment of your soul. So, once again, be aware of what you're holding yourself accountable to and for. What would that purpose be? And does it ultimately have anything to do with you and your authenticity or your authentic self? This choice, either way, you're going to get what you need. That doesn't matter. As long as you're open to being receptive to the lessons, and you'll know that you've been receptive because you've received the wisdom. So as long as you're gaining or gathering wisdom on either journey, either path, you're where you need to be, you're doing what you need to do, and you're being successful at it. But when all you get out of it is grief and overwhelming insecurity, fears that just now keep perpetuating, and they perpetuate because you don't get the lesson. So when things cycle, it's because you don't get the lesson, and it's because you know you didn't get the lesson because you have no wisdom that you've gained. It's slight at best. All right, so let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with for this week. And it's Seraphim Seraphisa. It says, relax and open up to source. Keep your heart open. And this is really profound because it's the one way that you know when you keep your heart open, you're going to receive the lesson as it's given to you. And you will know this because of the wisdom that you've gained through the experience. We want to close our hearts, just like this choice that we're afraid of. And the way that the reason why we're seeing it, the choice, these two different paths, instead of already being on it, is because of fear, because we've closed our hearts to something. And so, even this moment where two doors are open to us and we feel very split and within ourselves, this is to help us to open up our hearts. And the journey that either path will bring us will really reveal to us those things that we need to release, as Jesus was saying at the opening, what we need to release in order to love more deeply. He's writing the word feelings. So, as long as we embrace our feelings with, I want to say, with wisdom, I guess, or it feels like it's spiritual intelligence. So, meaning that we see our feelings for what they are. We we appreciate them for what they are. When we're happy, we appreciate happiness. We understand what is the experience of happiness that we're having. And the way that it gives pleasure to the soul, not just to our egos, you know, wants, right? We're not trying to get rid of a fear. We're not trying to feed our fear. We're not trying to soothe it. Um, we're not trying to numb it out. We're not trying to make it go away, but we're being present with it and growing in understanding through the presence of our feelings, our emotions. Relax. I feel like that first word, relax, is so important message to us in this week. Just relax. Just relax. And open up to source, meaning let let God do the thing, right? Um, just yesterday's, I can't remember what the situation was. Um, I'm trying to remember some of the things I did yesterday. I don't know. It was just I had this awareness of something that I normally would do, and I can just, it's like worrying about something, but it just feels a little less complicated than that. But let's just go with that for the minute. Maybe it might come to me specifically, but and then I just realized that I didn't need to worry. I can let go. Whatever's happening right now is happening the way it needs to happen. Um, you know, it felt like about being worried about timing. Um, I know I was meeting up with some friends, and I was going to an area that I hadn't been to before, and I was having to really rely on the GPS and Google Maps and all of that, and then I was just trying to get the timing right and to be there on time, but and then it was like I had to have two different map destinations saved, although they were in the same area, but I needed to go to a bank and it was in a different direction. It was like going left and I need to go right. And so crazy thing. Um but ultimately it was just this thing of just it's all gonna work out. Let it go. Don't worry about time. Just focus on doing what I needed to do and then doing what I need to do next. And it was just a sort of a tremendous relief release as I just realized, oh, that's that thing I do, and now I'm in the midst of it, and I don't need to resolve, because we get anxious, right? So I didn't try to get rid of the anxiety that we create around these things, but what I tried to get rid of was that I didn't need to be in charge of it all, and that I left in plenty of time, and I don't need to be focused on time. I just need to be focused on the experience and what I need to get done and enjoy. All right, so let's take a look at the first card. And what is this? We have the Four of Swords. So Espadas is the Four of Swords. And she's just sort of laying her back up against what it looks like, tall grassy like field behind her. Oh, the heart is on the sword. These little hearts were given by card deck creator, and I just sprinkle them over the table. I know some people have asked me about it. They just seem so nice. And it's interesting that turned on that sword that's lying down. And this is definitely about what I was just talking about, just letting go. You know, so often we're just focused on, there's so many things that we're holding on to, and then there's always so many things that are sort of in front of us that we're worried about as well. And this is about not trying to control any of them, but just to be sort of grounded in what is and letting the moment sort of speak to you, meaning allowing your intuition to to guide you to what you need to do next, but waiting for it, right? Waiting for it, not trying to rush it to anything. But you have this moment right now where maybe there's nothing else you can do. And the best thing that you can do is really in a moment where no option is, moving forward, but the options are there, then just, okay, then be there, be still. Be still in that moment and let things sort of arrange themselves. And it's all queuing up for you so that the right path, the one that has the movement, you'll know it. You'll see that, you'll feel the flow, or you'll sense the flow, or it'll be clear to you. Your mind will be in a clear space that all along, it's more like the parts where the opportunities, the options were there and they were revealing themselves very clearly. You just weren't in a clear space to receive. So allow yourself to be this week a lot more than you feel the need to have to rush matters along. All right, and this is, and we got another heart. Maybe these cards just the hearts stick to them, but it's cute, isn't it? This is the Nine of Wands. Now, usually this is a very, well, it's a semi-pip deck, right? In this card we had a person, but here we don't have one, and it's very refreshing because you see these 9 wands sort of standing in front of this open space, this very open space, and in the background we see that, you know sunshine in the sky, and this sort of a billowing background, but it's very calm beyond it. And it gives me a sense of sometimes we're prepared for some kind of battle all the time. And then what's really behind us, or what's going to happen as we move forward, it's already mapped out. Like, what do you got your guard up for? What are you protecting? And it's not, you're not really protecting what's to come. You're protecting yourself from that opportunity. Like, it looks like a land of opportunity behind them, and so you're really afraid of the opportunities. And this might be where you why you need why things aren't moving, or why you aren't receiving the clarity that you need. So why you're not seeing what's really happening and why it's really happening. And that means, like, if you were really um and they just wrote interesantes. I don't know who's commenting in the spirit world on this, but in Spanish, but it's sort of like you you're in this moment and you don't realize that you're hooked up to everything, all the knowing you need, all the clarity you need, and all the peace that you need, and all the love that you need, and all the abundance that you need. And it's because you're usually at war, right, in your head. And you put up these barriers in the world of opportunities. And wands usually deal with opportunities, like career, or um, or job, or something related to you know your career, right? And so if you're waiting for this career opportunity to unfold, but it looks like nothing is happening, then it seems as though that you might want to address that barrier that you have going on. Again, something we've created. We've created a reality. And this moment to stand still will give you the opportunity to see, what's that belief system that I've created that's creating this reality where I feel like need to be on guard. And yet, what's really happening is, all this wonderful opportunities are opening up to me, and I'm not in a place to see it yet, because somehow I've made myself not ready. And what they've right in front of me again is that you need to release. You need to release these beliefs that have created. You need to release the barriers that the beliefs have created, and focus on what you love. Meaning, focus on what you're passionate about right now. What are you excited about? What is your soul um, resonating with? And the last card here is the Two of Cups. And it's a very interesting Two of Cups depiction of the Two of Cups, right? Make sure, yeah, that's a two. Copas is cups. So the Two of Cups here. And it's interesting because there's this this card has this loneliness to it, doesn't it? I mean, and these daisies that are in front of her, and it looks like the background, she's just sort of blended into this silhouette of, this dark rainfall. Um, and yet her hair is sort of um, has this glowing or glistening with light, right? This yellow and green, and so the attention is really on the hair in a way, um, and could that be inspiration, right? Um, and it also seems like, because some of the um, petals of the daisy, sh she's down to this 1 to 3 here. So actually, we have Two of Cups, like the two daisies are left, but there's this third daisy where it seems like she's already picked everything off of it, and there's only one left, but just enough to show us maybe what has created this state of mind, right? So that what she's been doing and is creating this emotional experience of, you know, am I gonna, is this gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? You know, he loves me, he loves me not, he loves me not kind of thing. They want me, they want me not. Um, and it feels like you need to stop doing that. Like this seems like the answer to this, that this is the barrier that you're putting up, and you're making this situation about your worth, and the power of your worth you've placed in the hands of others. So whether you get this or not, you know, if you're sitting there going, does he love me not? Do they want me or want me not? What you're perpetuating is this belief is do they think I'm good enough or not? Does the world think I'm good enough or not? And the answer can only come from you. Do you think, do you know that you're good enough? Or are you choosing to believe not so? And can you open your heart to your truth? Are you really willing now, within the flower of your soul, to open that flower and to really see the beauty of who you are, and that you are enough? You're plenty enough. And the angels write, yes, in front of me. You're plenty enough. But are you willing and ready to see that with great clarity? All right, and let's take a look at the card I've already pulled from the bottom of the deck. And this is the page Sota Espadas, the page of swords. And, you know, the court cards give us a sense of something of, you can read it, as the event, or you can read it as a personality trait um, that you may need to embody. So the Page of Swords, like all swords, all pages, they're in a new phase of something of their life. They're in a learning stage, right? They're learning something about themselves. Here we're learning to confront truth, right? Because that's the Court of Swords, is about trying to find truth and balance. You know, they're trying to find a balance because they know that all truth has many sides to it, right? But it's about what's the one is in a balance for you. That's your truth. My truth is mine, and yours is yours. And so, what is the truth that you need to become aware of in order to really to face what is real, what's in sight for you, that's real and in sight for you? And she looks like she's gonna pull out that sword, and you know, it's like, whoa, 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 do you know what to do with that? Like, you know, it's huge. And you think to yourself, she might, you know, unwisely hurt herself or someone else. And there's a sense of distrust, right, that is built. And so you have to learn that you can't keep standing still in fear because you're afraid of doing the wrong thing, of hurting yourself, of making mistakes. That is actually a part of it all. Yes, some mistakes can be fatal, but that's still a part of it all. And this is why many times we come back and you know, incarnate and do it again. Um, so, but not every choice is fatal, right? It's in your head that it could be. And it's usually nothing that's fatal, but it just seems like the end of the world if such and such things happen. And they're writing the word courage. So what they're saying here right now is that you need to exercise courage, the character trait that they want you to pick up on in this Page of Swords is courage. I mean, look at her face, look at her eyes, right? She's not afraid to pull out that sword, even though she may not have a lot of experience, because she knows what she wants. And if you know what you want right now, then it doesn't matter if you make mistakes. What matters is that you are going for it, going for what you deserve. And if you are truly going for what you deserve and believe it's what you deserve, then you will have something out of this that you deserve. And that's what's most important. It's not we're not going for the perfected ideal. We're going for what's perfect for you. And that outcome may look different from the one you're pursuing. But without having courage to go for it, for what you think you deserve, you'll never get to what you really deserve. And if you're already done so, then know that you have triumphed no matter what your outcome is. It's a triumph for your soul to learn to open up your heart and to keep it open in the face of adversity. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful and inspiring week. God bless you.